Come get your money. Pay Lake Carp Fishing with Donald Barrow.
Donald got the top of that hour at a 29.1. Go come get your money.
Guys, just saw an advertisement in Carp Nuts. Clifford was selling bait ballers. These are kind of near and dear to my heart. I've been using these for about 4 years. I've talked about them in some other posts. When I bought them, you had to order them from Germany, and it took almost 2 months. But now they've become available. I've seen them at lakes. And Clifford now with Carp Nuts is selling them. And I think that's going to open up these to just about everybody who's looking for them. You'll find them at a pond, the nearest pond near you, hopefully pretty soon. A lot of advantages, not two advantages. I know Clifford made a quick video on how to pack with them. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience. Got a lot of experience with these things, and just wanted to review some of the things I found. And if you buy this product, I think you'll be real happy. Oh, I'm back to the Michigan hat. The beanie, the wife didn't like, so it's out of here. Hit a basket. it really needed to be out of here. So no more beanie hat for me. You never know what kind of hat I'm going to end up wearing. I love hats. Back to these things. Step that I found pretty useful. Not always, but with most baits. And today I'm going to use at least 3-4 month old rice. And this rice is pathetic. Ill pack. What I'm doing is I'm dipping these cups in water, and it just works. You don't soak them. I just dip them. Kind of like you're wetting your hands. You wet these in water. You might wet your hands. This is extremely rough bait to pack. I could barely pack it with my hands. The poor purpose of these packers is for guys, for a tough bait. It's easier, it's consistent to pack this way. And I just, I prefer it in a lot of instances. Not always. If your bait's great packing and your hands are feeling good, have at it. But as you climb up in age, packing bait all night, especially with arthritis in your hands and wrists, a lot of us elder fishermen have issues. So I took a bunch of bait, and it's not rocket science here. You just stuff it in these cylinders. You can pat them down a little bit. Somebody was asking what size baller this is. I really don't know. Don't really care. It makes a big enough ball. Sometimes it makes too big. And I put less. You can push it right to the top and push it down, or you can make a ball a little smaller. And a lot of times I prefer smaller. I have 2 different sizes. It just so happens I picked a small one up at the expo in Indianapolis. I saw it and I said, hey, no waiting 3 months. I'm picking this up now. I'm going to show the conventional way of using this, that I've used it for the last 4 or 5 years. Right now, with Carp Nuts and their little flavorized beads or buttons or whatever they're calling them. I don't really know the name. It's these things. The Carp Nut products. And I'm talking about Carp Nuts because they're the ones selling these bait ballers. You don't have to use bait conventionally, but if you are, and I use everything, I could catch 320s on these Carp Nuts, and the next week I'll start out this way. I'll start out with Carp Nuts. I have options because carp fishing's that way for me. The more options I have, the more I'll use. usually the more successful I'll be. Back to this, there's a slot. Yeah, you can kind of see it. And you slide your bait down it. You can slide both both baits in there. And if your bait is really being finicky, that's not I'll do it. No, I won't do it. I'll tell you why. Thing up. You don't have to fill this all the way up, but if you do, you can get a pretty tight pack on it. The top is shallower, and so you don't need as much. But I like to get it a good pack in there. All right. So you can see there's a slot in the side of this, and that's where your hook, you align it with your hook, the line just ahead of it. You push your hook in there, and then you pack on top with the top baller, and essentially you squish it together. Sorry, I should have the camera at a different angle and it could show off this, but you get the idea. Now I'm squeezing down the top, and I got a perfect ball. Now, depending on the bait, is if you have to pack a little bit. I like to overpack, and this ball comes out a little bit round, and I like to kind of work it to kind of a cylinder. You can, depending on your bait, and like I said, this bait here is about as old and rough to pack as you can get it, and it's throwable. I mean, this bait's been in my shed for at least 3 months, maybe 4 months, and yeah, I'm ready to throw it. And I packed it with this baller. The beauty is the hook is straight, and when you want to talk packing, you want your hook straight. If you want to throw far and you want it to stay together, you pack at the top of your back bait. The sides, I see guys squeeze, and it's like, guys, when you throw, it's not the sides breaking up. And if some comes off the bottom, doesn't matter. It's this right here, the top part of your bait. I'm making a mess. It is gonna cause your cast to fail. Can I pack that bait with my hand? Yes. Rice is a great bait for one of these ballers. Oats, grits, chow. If chow is tricky, a baller is sometimes one of the only ways I can get it to really pack. Is it faster? No, it's not faster, but it's not slow. If you know what you're doing, you can pack just about as fast as doing it with your hand. My brother-in-law is an expert with these things. One thing I do is these little inserts, they're cut, or they're made that when they first come to you, they don't slide all the way out. They slide about halfway, and you kind of pull your bait out. I didn't like that, so I always cut around them to make them loose. You just be careful you don't lose them. Knock on wood, we haven't lost one. But these are so valuable when you're packing. You really pay attention to where you leave them. Man, I made a mess here. But I just wanted to tell you some of the things about using a baller. Dip it in water. You don't have to pack it all the way, so you can make the balls smaller. The ball comes out round, and I kind of make it up and down vertical. I do not, sometimes you don't ever touch it. My brother-in-law makes it so beautiful. You pop it out and just toss it. And millet is the absolute best thing to pack with this, followed by probably syrup chow. And they both, if you've packed both of them, they're probably the easiest to pack. And you can make a brick, a little golf ball, uh, consistency. You have no fear of throwing it. It glides through the air. It's heavy, and you can hit any rope with it. Uh, so if you're having hand trouble, if you're new and you're just having trouble packing, uh, and you never know when you're going to have trouble packing. I got hit in a rainstorm and my bait got over wet, and we're drying it and doing every trick, adding extra dry bait. And my brother-in-law's working, and I'll be honest, it was for a while until it dried. It was the only thing we could do to get the bait to pack was use the baller. You know, it's an option to have in your arsenal, even if you're the best fisherman and you can pack one hand and no problem. Uh, Stuff happens. 8 hours of fishing, rain, sleet, snow, cold weather, warm weather. Um, One of these is just cheap to have, and and other guys, I like my brother-in-law. That's all he ever uses, and if you use it a lot, you get real good at it, and you're probably going to go, what I can fish, and I don't have to have super strong grip. And if you're having trouble getting older, and that's an issue, use one of these. Um, Trust me on it. It'll keep you in the game. And man, I should have went fishing. It's like I went fishing. My hands are red, and uh, and I got bait all over the place. But it was fun. I needed to make a video. I did not fish for probably the first time in months uh, this week, and the week's not over, so there's always possibilities. But uh, it was fun to make a video. So uh, make a video. I think I've made 3 this week, but you get it. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe, and thank you. Appreciate it.